Greetings from Aetolia, IMO Chiptune Champion. Chiptune Champion is a rhythm music game that came out on 8th of January and is by Blake Garner. Okay, this is Chiptune Champion and this is a sort of Guitar Hero rhythm game. Now, I have been looking for a Guitar Hero rhythm game on Steam for a long time, and the one I used before, which is called Rhythm Zone or something like that, it kind of completely stopped working. So this now has become my game I'm going to play with my guitar, and I have been playing with my guitar for the past, not the past 7 hours, but over the course of the week I played about 7 hours of this game. I do have a few little sort of criticisms, and also we're going to review what I consider to be complete. But first, this is a PC application, so let's go into the options menu. So as for visual things, you have a scale situation here because it is pixelated, full screen on off, VSync and effects are on off. This is pretty piss poor, personally. I would have preferred an actual, visual options. It's not a big deal, but you can't even have it 16:9. So, it should really be available for modern ratios. You do have the keybinds over here, which is obviously very nice and very essential in a game like this. Music and sound sliders over here, and obviously the offset sync down here. Now, one thing I would have liked on this thing here is sometimes the songs start a bit too quickly, so I don't have time to pick up my guitar before it starts. I would have liked that in here, to be fair, but it's not an awful options menu. You might notice here there is a track editor, and that is because you can actually go into the workshop and download people's tracks and have them in the actual game. Now, this here wasn't on launch, but essentially now you have strum mode and tap mode. Essentially the difference is that on the tap mode they've turned all the notes into tap notes, so you just tap instead of actually strumming. And on the strum mode, you have to strum at the same time. I'm guessing they're expecting you to use a keyboard for this game and not a guitar, but I really want to use my actual guitar, my Guitar Hero guitar. Now, I wasn't playing an expert. I'm counting complete as completing all the songs that I had available to me on medium. Now, you might see down here it says bonus songs, 50% achievements to unlock. Now, I don't seem to be able to get 50% of achievements. I'm going to have to do a lot more practicing, but I have been trying to get a long streak or 100% on a song, and it's really difficult, even on rookie, which may be a reflection on me, but definitely a reflection on the fact that I'm probably not the best person to be playing this game. So, you're probably seeing a few songs whilst I was talking then, but you might notice, by the way, the game looks really good looking, really sort of vibrant, and the colours seem to pop out at you. So I'm going to pick up my guitar over here, make sure it's turned on, which it is, and we're going to try to do a song and commentate at the same time, and this may go terribly. Okay, so now I'm going to try to do the song here. Now, this game here works exactly the same as Guitar Hero. The notes come down from the top, I press the colour, and I strum. And that's basically the way this thing goes, and I'm going to try not to lose. In a second we're going to shut up so you can actually hear some of the amazing music on this game. Now, just below my little bar down there is actually a sort of health bar. That is obviously when that goes down to nothing, which I'm going to try to survive the song, basically. That's my only goal here. But hopefully I don't end up dying. Well, that there's what that there is. It's basically a health for all of this. Now, that seems to go up pretty quickly, to be fair. It doesn't seem to be that untrusting. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is that you notice that the entire screen has a lot of clutter on it. It has basically the entirety of the options. Your streak is just literally listed on the side along with the song. I'm not exactly opposed to this because of the fact that the main stuff in the centre is not exactly taking up that much space, and I kind of would prefer it to to having the background currently. It is a little bit distracting, unfortunately, but they always are. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, unless you have a normal background, and they may have normal backgrounds, pretty difficult, like a stationary background, it's pretty difficult to be able to tell what you're pressing anyway. So, I don't know where sort of I fall on the idea of the clutter on the screen and the background being too distracting or not too distracting. I'm not quite sure. I don't mind it though, I think that's basically what it is. I think I just don't mind it, and hence I've not really come up with a concrete sort of opinion on it. Now, there is a few minor things here. You might notice that nothing really about the display, like with the notes coming down, does change, whereas on stuff like Guitar Hero, it does change, so that way you know you're about to lose or whatever. That doesn't really seem to happen, so you kind of have to make sure that you do loop below the actual number bar, the actual note bar. Not a major thing, but you know, it might have been nice to have the screen flare up red or whatever, but it just kind of doesn't do that really. Now, you can change your difficulty on the fly. One thing I did notice, and I would have preferred, would have been a way to go to the next song in the list. Because when I was trying to complete this, I basically had to continually press change song here, and then remember which one I was on, and go to the next one down. Which now is pretty much impossible, because then I was using this high score over here. You do have higher scores, obviously, so you've got the weekly, last week, and all-time high scores. I'll be nowhere near on these scores, because I am nowhere near as good. But, you know, it's nice to have it. It's on Steam. It's nice to have that kind of stuff. So, I'm going to find a good song. I reckon we'll go find a song like down here, and I will play the song and keep silent so you can actually hear some of the music. And I might end up fading a few more videos from other songs into here. So, let's enjoy the bit of the music then, shall we? Okay, so that there was a little bit of the music and my terrible 85% right there. So, now let's go back to the change song screen over here. Now, you can actually download and have little workshop songs in here. Now, these generally require you to go and download the MP3 from like a Dropbox and then go and find the literal track file. This is the worst. This is like the worst, because what you have to do, you have to press import song and find the actual folder, which is some obscure folder within inside of the Chiptune Steam library folder, which isn't even labelled as Chiptune. It's just like a number. I think it might be the number of the game, and then it's just a mess. It's an absolute mess. So if you're going to download anything from the workshop and they have like a download like zip file option, go download that there instead, because this here it's a mess. It just is. They need to make it so the workshop just automatically sticks the tracks inside of the Chiptune Steam library if they can to do that, because this is not user friendly whatsoever. You can obviously make your own as well, obviously in Track Editor over here, which is a full editor. Now, one thing you might notice, by the way, or might be asking right now, is are there chords? And the answer is yes, there are chords, generally in expert mode, and I've seen them in the custom tracks, but most people seem to put them in, so they are possible. It's just they don't seem to use them in. I think the difference between these here is rookie is 4 notes, medium is all 5, but doesn't really go that fast, and expert is everything from chords to, you know, long solos of tapping. So, you know, that's really the entire game. Now, I quite like it, to be fair, and I liked it even better if this here was a better way to unlock things. I don't know how many tracks are down here, but I'm going to guess it goes up to 50, and I would like these to be a little easier to get. Maybe instead of having 50% achievements to unlock, you've got to play all of these in a certain difficulty to unlock them instead. This here is just a bit ridiculous. So my criticisms really are the achievements are a little bit too like, this is pointless here. Okay, so I think we should conclude this episode then. Chiptune Champion is a welcome addition to a much needed genre for me, and I enjoy playing it. Hopefully the workshop will keep it as live for as long as possible. Chiptune Champion is on Steam for £7, $10 or €10. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.